G'day fellas and welcome to the biggest patch Age of Empires 4 has ever seen. We're going to take a look at the release notes for the PUP of September 2022. This patch is due to release in October. That's going to be coinciding with the release of 2 new civilizations as well as that absolutely massive Season 3 update. So there it is. So below is a list of new features, known issues, AI improvements, map updates, hotkeys, shortcuts, every single thing. Now, I'm not going to be going through everything because it's so damn long, and quite honestly, if I read it all to you, it would probably take about 2 hours. So we're going to go through, we're going to get to the good stuff. We're just going to take a little look. We're going to do a little bit of a hit and run tactic on these patch notes, just because I think, well, that's probably the best way to do it. So let's jump in without further ado. New maps, 8 new maps: Forest Ponds, Hideout, Mountain Clearing, Wetlands, Prairie, Waterholes, Mediterranean, and Oasis. So there's also going to be another map coming in, or Mediterranean, as mentioned there. This one is a classic map. You've probably played it. You've probably heard of it before. So that is definitely something incredibly exciting to see. Obviously, with a new season. Last season we saw the pit was added. This season they've added 8 new civilization, or 8 new maps because of the 2 new civilizations. So, you know, this is nice. Keep it fresh. Hopefully there's some decent maps in there as well. Introducing cheats and taunts. So starting off with the cheats. So they said cheats can be enabled in the lobby settings in any custom match. Once in the match, press enter to open the chat bar and enter your favorite cheat code from the list below. So we've secreted away some cheats for the official release of Season 3, so look out for more. So there's 4 that they've disclosed at the moment. Big Bad Sheep turns sheep into wolves. One of Us converts the selected unit. This is Fine sets the selected building on fire. And Smorgasbord grants yourself 100,000 of all resources. This is definitely something I'm going to be using a lot. Smorgasbord. Let's move on to taunts. Taunts can be used in the lobby chat or an in-game chat. Below is the list of taunts available for this preview only. So sort of leading me to think that there might actually be some more taunts available in Season 3. 1, yes. 2, no. 3, good luck, have fun. 4, are you ready to battle? 5, oh, I can't wait. 6, the anticipation is killing me. 7, ding ding. Now I'm hoping this is the town center from the alpha or the beta. If you guys played it, you will remember the TC. You can go back and look at the very first Age of Empires 4 videos on the channel. Oh my lord, that town center. Ding ding, ding ding. Let's hope it's that. 8, all hail, king of the losers. That's me. 9, oh. 10, hey, I'm in your town. 11, I'm assuming it's the ha 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 ha. 12, being rushed. 13, group cheer. Hey. 14, start the game already. 15, are you still there? 16, not like this, not like this. 17, crickets, which I think would just be. That's my best impression. 18, a group wince. I don't actually know what a wince is, but I think it's like, oh, something like that, maybe. 19, sure, blame it on your ISP. And 20, don't point that thing at me. Well, those are the taunts. Now, in addition to these, there's plenty more things that are coming to Age of Empires 4 in the Season 3 update, which you're going to be able to play in the PUP. It is now live. As this video does go live on YouTube, you guys will be able to access the PUP. I will show you guys how to do that at the end of the video. So, naval rework. They've done a naval rework. It's completely different. Basically, you've got rock, paper, scissors on the water from the second age. It's amazing. Waypoint markers. They've added waypoint markers, so now you can tell where your units are going to go and what they're going to be doing. Red means an attack waypoint. Blue means, you know, a refrigerated. I don't know what there's blue and there's gold. There's different ones. So there's gold for anytime you move, blue for if it's an action, red if it's an attack or a patrol. Ranked team matches. So you're going to be able to do 2v2, 3v3, 4v4 on the ranked ladder. They've also got some known issues here, which I'm not going to go through just because, well, you know, they're probably going to work it out. Now, for anybody who plays single player, who likes to play up against the AI, they have made huge improvements to the way that the AI works. So they've changed the way that it scouts. They've changed the way that it interacts with the map. They've changed the way that it assesses threats, its approach to the end game, and made changes to the Civ-specific AI as well. Now, there's been a whole bunch of huge changes there. So, you know, I know that there's a lot of people out there that do enjoy playing those sorts of games. So, you know, this is a great change for them, and looking forward to getting out there and smashing out some AI. Now, in addition to that, so we'll take a look here at the naval map rework, or actually, we're not going to have a look at the naval map rework. We're just going to continue past the maps. We're going to zoom past these ones. Maps, we're not interested in the maps. Get to the good stuff. Hotkey updates, gave us a few new hotkeys. Shortcuts and remappable keys. General bug fixes. Naval rework. Here we go. Bugs and ballast change. This is the good stuff, the juicy part. This is the meat and the potatoes right here of the... I was going to say the salad, but I can't imagine too many putting meat... Do you put meat and potatoes in a salad? Maybe like a potato salad, but then that's a potato salad. You don't put meat in it. Anyway, here's a summary of our latest changes and what they mean for naval gameplay. Each class of ship now shares the same stats. This means that a Baochuan and a Carrack are both equal in cost and power. We intend to add ship variations back in the future as we look to refine naval balance further. However, our goal with this update is create a solid foundation that we can continue to build from. Can I get a golf clap, please? That should be a taunt golf clap. We moved the Springled ship and Incendiary ship, which used to be known as the Boom Boom Pow ship, or the Vengaboy ship. You guys remember the explosive ship? The one that blew up. Anyway, Incendiary ship to the feudal age for all civs. This makes naval combat far more exciting in the early stages of the game now that there's a classic rock, paper, scissors counter system in place. We also made the counter system much stronger, making fixed army compositions far more important than before. The Archer ship counters the Incendiary ship, which counters the Springled ship, which counters the Archer ship. Now that there are no naval units unlocked in the Castle Age, we added a number of tiering upgrades which are available to all civilizations. Each ship type has a Castle Age and Imperial Age upgrade available to it, as well as new armored hull and shipwright upgrades, which improve the health and armor of all ships. Ship costs have been changed across the board, including adding food costs to Archer ships and warships. We want to ensure that there are interesting economic decisions when there's naval maps, and introducing a food cost to certain naval units ensures that there is enough demand on that resource. This is especially important as players look to expand their economy onto the water with additional fishing ships. Ships are also generally cheaper and train faster than before, meaning that you can field more units faster and earlier in the game. We made a lot of adjustments to the movement speed and turn rates of ships to make them feel more responsive and fun to use. Ships no longer cancel a garrison command upon colliding with another unit, ships can no longer go under bridges, and fishing deposits can now be reliably selected. So, this is obviously... incredible. This is something that I remember I brought it up in one video. It must have been months ago now, and I just said, look, we just got to start from fresh. What we've got right now, it's just not fit for purpose, and we don't want to commit to it, and the devs have done that, and they've brought this in, and I just cannot wait to get my hands on it. I'm incredibly excited to see where the water balance goes from here, but this is such a great start. So the Archer ship is obviously, if you were playing as the English, the Archer ship is the galley. The Incendiary ship, which gets countered by the Archer ship, that is just your explosive junk or your explosive dower, explosive, I don't know what it's called. And then your Springled ship would be your Hulk. So obviously the Incendiary ship's very fast, very nimble, very quick. It can get in there and just boom, boom, pow all over that Springled. Whereas the Springled ship can chip away at the Archer ships. Obviously, they've got a lot more armor as well, but they've done a whole bunch of changes to ships as well. So you can see, this is the big thing, right? They've reduced trade ships down to 100 wood. I feel like this is insane. And the train time is 30 seconds. If you lose water, it's over, bro. It is over. Down from 300 to 100. I think they're 100 now. But they have actually overhauled trade, and that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later on in the video. They've also changed the transport ship, changing the Springled ship, and you can see that the way that they've got it. So it actually costs 120 food to make a Springled ship now. So that's previously your Hulk. So now it costs 120 food. I'm not going to go into detail on all of these things, but you can see that they've actually got bonus damage versus Archer ships set to plus 40. So it's basically, it's your rock, paper, scissors system, and it is 100% countering that is happening with this kind of thing. So they're not going for a soft counter system, it is a hard counter system. And then I suspect they're probably going to be doing the same thing with the Archer ship. Yeah, so you can see they've got a bonus damage versus Incendiary ships, and then I'm assuming Incendiary ships are going to have bonus damages against Springled ships. Let's actually take a look and see what they did with this. So they set the attack to 95. Okay, so bonus versus broadside ships and buildings set to plus 300. All right, nice. I think they also, they increased the movement speed to 2 tiles, which makes them really fast. When you can combine this with things like the extra sails, that's going to be insane. They're going to be really, really quick on the water. So I'm looking forward to seeing lots of naval flanks and stuff like that coming through. But we continue moving forward. So changes to buildings and siege. So docks now have a defensive arrow emplacement. This is available in the feudal age. It has a 3-second reload time and 11 tile range. 11 tiles. That's like 1 tile more than a bombard. It's a lot. 100 stone, 50 wood, 10 damage with 25 versus ships. Now, I will note, and the developers have told me this, that this upgrade only will hit naval units. That is it. It will not hit land units. So don't think you're going to forward dock an enemy and drop this bad boy down. Ain't going to happen. Arrow slits and garrisons. So you can see that they've changed the way that it works against ships as well. The trebuchet gets a change. Yes, I know it's trebuchet. I'm saying trebuchet. It's a meme. And they've also changed to changes to shared technology. So you can see that they've rebalanced everything with regard to the shared technologies. And this is something that they've actually done across the board. So they've also made it for normal eco techs, but they've added in armored hull, which reduces it increases the health of your military ships by 20%. Also increases ranged armor by 1%. There's a whole bunch of techs that have come through. Gameplay changes for all civs. We've added a new setting called Show Waypoint Markers for single actions. Siege units will now automatically unpack, pack, and chase enemy units when issued a force attack command. Units can now spawn in any direction from a building instead of just moving through the doors. Golf clap, please. Changes to how sheep behave with allies. So this is in multiplayer games specifically, not in 1v1. Sheep will now no longer slow down while approaching the building after being herded towards a town center. There you go. Fixed an issue where newly queued patrol commands would fail to queue if a previous queued patrol command was interrupted. Didn't realize that. There's a whole bunch of other issues that have come through in here, but the big thing I'm looking for is balanced. Okay, upgrades, technologies. Reduce the cost and research time for food gathering, wood gathering, and mining technologies. So they've changed the research time from 75 and 70 down to 45 and 60. Also reducing the cost down from 250 to 150, 500 to 350. These are almost going to be mandatory. And I think, if anything, this just pushes 1 TC, makes it a little bit stronger. Now you're going to be able to stick on 1 TC for a bit longer. You're going to be able to threaten those guys that are up on 2 TCs. They might have to neglect this to go for a bit more military units. So I think that's a great change. All buildings set for a weapon priority of 80. So units will attack the closest building instead of targeting specific ones. Note that they will still prioritize buildings that attack them. Relic gold generation reduced from 100 to 80. Rest in peace to all you fast castles out there. So I think it's a pretty smart move what they've said here. So when you collect relics, it leads to an... Oh gosh. Let me work that out. When you collect relics, it leads to a significant economic advantage for the rest of the game that's significantly more difficult to raid than a villager lead. We wanted to keep the gold value high enough that it's worth collecting, but not feel like the enemy player is at a hopeless disadvantage. Great change. Scout. The scout weapon damage has been reduced from 2 to 1. Lovely. That is so nice. Now remember, the scouts still do 10 damage to other scout units. So your Khan, your enemy scout, that it still takes 11 damage instead of 12. Spearman health gets increased from 70 to 80, and damage up from 6 to 7. Good little change here. So this is just your base spearman, so it doesn't actually change your feudal age spearman or your castle age or your imperial age spearman at all. And then we've got infantry charge, which is interesting here. So they've also made it so that the duration is longer, which kind of nerfs archers even more. It's kind of wild. Ram buffs, by the way. Weapon range increase from 1.15 to 2.15. This is huge. Basically means that you don't have to get right up next to the TC. Makes it a bit easier for you to also be attacking TCs, fall back away from enemy villages, that sort of thing. So that's a nice little change for the Rams. Not that Rams need to be any stronger. Counterweight Treb bonus reduced from 500 to 450. Obviously, Trebs are pretty strong at the moment, so it makes sense to do that. Villagers, traders, and building construction updates for all civs. So villager repair animation will now look smooth and loop properly when repairing. Villagers no longer only partially drop off resources when a drop off is cancelled. Villagers will no longer briefly A-pose before harvesting sheep. Villagers can no longer be interrupted while dropping off resources when being struck by attackers. This is a big one because one of the big things that you see, and this is a huge nerf to the Rus in the early game, is that now you've got a scout nerf, and then you've got this nerf as well, which basically means if the Rus player goes for 3 or 4 scouts in the early game, you could just ignore them. You could just ignore what they're doing. It's like you don't even care what they're doing. Go for it, man. It's fine. Return to work command now works for all selected structures simultaneously. Traders now move out of the way if they were preventing a stone wall gate from being constructed. Market build time reduced from 30 to 20. And then trader cost reduced from 75 to 60, and the build time reduced from 35 to 25 seconds. I like this. I like this a lot. This also buffs up the Abbasid dynasty. It buffs up the Mongols. It buffs up anybody who's got that sort of that propensity to go for trade. And that's a good thing because trade at the moment, not particularly strong. And I think trade should be a ticking time bomb. It should be if you see your enemies going for trade, you can't respond with a town center. You respond with a town center, you're going to be too slow, or you're not going to scale. It needs to be one of those things where it's like you see your enemy trading, you got to go stop that. You got to go stop that right now. That's where I think it needs to be. And so hopefully that moves it towards that direction. Building multiple farms with shift queuing on top of a mill or town center will now consistently and predictably populate around that structure. Thank you very much. Golf clap. When constructing a wall with 2 or more villages, they'll no longer sometimes idle. Another great change. So now we move down to the Civ-specific changes. I appreciate I didn't get through all of these. I missed some of them. I'm keen to get down to these ones. Civ-specific changes. Abbasid, reduced visual scale of the Hall of Uqba. Abbasid have a celebratory audio notification when they unlock new levels in their House of Wisdom. Fixed a minimap issue where Abbasid's main town center displays a normal town center icon instead of a capital. Trader units can no longer trade stone. This has also been made for the French as well. And a little bit of a change for the naval unique tech that they've got. Chinese, here we go. Fixed bug where Chinese grenadiers would not properly display visual effects within shallow waters. Fixed an issue where the Great Wall Gatehouse landmark could be permanently destroyed by destroying the walls around it. Good little change. Added 2 new hotkeys to select and cycle Imperial officials. This one's actually might be pretty decent. I was thinking about this. I think this actually is going to be pretty good. I'm imagining like you just hit the key, like if you're supervising, picture this. You're supervising 2 mining camps, a lumber camp, and a mill. You cycle, right-click mill, cycle, right-click lumber camp, cycle, right-click mining camp. And then you cycle back to each one, and then you shift E, shift E, shift E, shift E, because you can't do it. You can't do right-click shift E because it will bug out, which obviously they haven't fixed. That's that's a spaghetti code issue that is completely different, but that's still a pretty decent change there. All right. So it's also the Imperial official hotkeys now remappable in the Imperial Academy landmark. Reload drills has been reduced in cost as well as time taken. I like that they're buffing up all of these techs that people don't get, because reload drills, it's like, yeah, it's nice, but I don't need it, man. Like, my 2 bombards, it's fine. I can't justify spending that much. My bombards are just going to die anyway. Fixed a bug where Imperial official could not manually drop off taxes at expansion town centers. Hallelujah. Granary can now upgrade technologies, economic technologies, and it can also be selected with economic building shortcuts. Spirit Way landmark research speed bonus increased from 100 to 150%, so now it's in line with an Imperial official. This is a good change. Now we've got a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Now we've got a problem. Look at this. Fire Lancer. Fire Lancer ranged armor increased from 0 to 3. Elite Fire Lancer ranged armor increased from 0 to 4. Welcome to the Fire Lancer meta. Oh my lord. Is the Fire Lancer about to take over your games? Oh my god. We've got a new naval a new upgrade. It's called Thunderclap Bombs. It's a 45-second upgrade that costs 700 resource that gives your Baochuans a nest of bee emplacement. I love it. I love it. And it's such a great name, Thunderclap Bombs. It reminds me of I feel like I'm playing WoW, Thunderclap. Is it WoW, Dota 2? I think both of them have got Thunderclaps in them. Delhi Sultanate, a whole bunch of stuff. Most of these are just bug fixes. I'm not going through the Delhi. You want to go through the Delhi, you pause it, you check your own notes. English, what do we got? Berkshire landmark palace rules now work like other keeps. It can be built directly on the coast. That's nice. Vanguard Men-at-Arms had a increase in health as well as damage. This is nice. This is just Vanguard though. This is not, it doesn't affect anything else. And then Admiralty also still gives +1 range. No surprises there. French, oh my god, we're at the end. Fixed a bug where the economic technology discount was not applying to fishing techs. Trader units can no longer trade for stone, and they do get long guns. All right, well, that is it. I gotta say, It's an absolutely massive patch. There's so many things that are coming in here. New maps, and of course, hey, did I even mention the new civilizations that are coming in? I don't think I did. New civilizations, the Ottomans, the Malians, 8 new maps, taunts, cheats, ranked ladder, a whole bunch of changes to the AI, massive rework to naval and the way that it works. Hopefully it's a little bit more fun on water now, and of course massive balance changes to just our standard 8 civs. Well, fellas, it's been an absolute pleasure taking a quick look through these new notes. Now obviously these aren't final. These are just this is what they are at the moment. They might change before the big patch releases, so look, we'll keep you up to date if they do, but that is absolutely it. And hey, expect to see some new civ content coming up very, very soon.